What is up, guys? My name is Lufu and welcome to the Stanley Parable. So this game also came out way back, like 2-3 years ago, but I never got the chance to play it. So here I am. It's a bit late, but whatever. Everyone does it their own way, so let's begin the game. End is never, the end is never. The end is loading. Click to skip.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Well, if that's what he chose.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright. So, if you didn't know this game, hang on, let me take a zip. As far as I remember, you can either do what the narrator and the narration says, or you can ignore it. So he said we're gonna step out, and we're gonna step out. The mouse.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Well, we just turned that off. Where's the meeting room? Okay, so, well, we're gonna follow and do as he...
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I'm sorry. I like touching things. I hate Mondays. Well, me too. Luckily it's Tuesday right now. So every door is locked, apparently.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Screw you!
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Alright, if you say so. Well, the door locked behind me, I'm sure. So let's just see if there's where the employee lounge is.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I want to drink something. Why does it sound like I'm tipping?
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
What's gonna happen if I wait any longer?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy. and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
You're so mean to me. But we're gonna stay a bit longer and see what else you have to say about me and my personality.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Oh, really? Are you trying to say so? Are you trying to tell me to leave this room? Or do you have any more dialogue? Huh? Huh? I think there's nothing left. So let's go.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Yeah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Well, the next time we're just gonna follow. Because I don't know if there's different endings to this game, which would be awesome, but you know, I'll have to replay everything again and again and again.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I'm sorry, I had to clean the camera. Alright. So I guess we're just following his orders from now on, because if not, we're gonna what?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hello?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
That was really mean. Hang on.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Fuck you! Let me out of here! Stupid douche.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press V on it. No! 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 Help me! Help me, wife! Lauren! Lauren, help me! Lauren! It's nice to see your boobs, but help me! Lauren! Oh, fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Why?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I'm not gonna press it. Screw you! I'm not Stanley. Oh my god, I'm Stanley. I'm just furiously clicking everything. Because I want to get out of this room. I can't press it.
But
Pressing
in
it.
his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Please press F to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press 6 to prepare dinner. What the hell is going on?
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
So we're kind of having a day right
It
now.
was such a wonderful fantasy. And so in his head, he relived it again. And then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Alright. Fine, I'm gonna do what you tell me to. I'm patient. I can wait. I have my phone here. Screw you, buddy. Fucking hell.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Okay, I learned.
I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And
Yes. What did I do wrong? Okay, I'll do what you tell me to.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm wondering what's gonna happen if I do it again. But screw it. I'm just gonna go and do it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office hoping he might find an answer there.
Or we're gonna hang out in this room, have to solve dispute with coworker. Using slides to ensure please. Okay. Work harder, hard worker. What is hot? Profits. Things, money, more money. Things, but with the money to buy more things. What? Charts and slides. To do. Every time I click, it sounds like he has his keyboard like strung to his hands to just. You're gonna say something? Okay, apparently not. So let's go.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nah, I think I'm gonna stay in here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I'm still here.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
What is FA?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I don't know. I'm just bored. I don't like following orders, so...
realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Well, I'm still here. I'm gonna stay here just because, for the fun of it.
To you, this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
They really thought
Stanley
about...
was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drugs. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Now you're really rude.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I think I'll just wait a bit more. Usually it's just... This game's so silly, but it's so good. Oh my god, I love it already. This narrator... This narration is... perfect. Not as such as mine. Alright, we're going out.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee You can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
What if we go again?
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of insects. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Well, well, well. We're still in the broom closet. What if we go in again? Okay, I think this is officially done here. They made enough for this.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, we'll do as you say. Okay, we're gonna advance the plot. But you told me I'm ugly. Anyways, we're just gonna do as we're told, so you can shut the fuck up. Executive bathroom. Alright, let's see what's here. Nothing. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Nah. Let's wait around a bit. This game is so much about waiting and just getting the narration to fuck up. Oh, let's just go. Well, that's awkward. Down we go. Loading, 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 loading. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, I need to sit straight, but whatever.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, it broke. Is this a horror game now?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There's an escape route,
Although
so...
this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Why
The door
not?
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Did we do good? I don't think we did good. Are you still upset with me for not doing what you told me to do? Whoa, what the hell?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
We finished the game. Ending 1. Office computers. Credits. Yup, I think that is the ending. Button sounds. Well, that was interesting. I guess we have the ending 1 here. The office. Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. Alright, so that is... Am I going crazy? Maybe this isn't the same image with the clock. What? Screenshots of the sound. HD remix. More endings, fewer endings. More narrations, fewer more narrators, fewer narrators. More Stanley, less Stanley. The point of the Stanley parable is to lose. What? What is all of this? Apartment time. Alright, so that was nothing. So, how can we get out of here? Meeting room. How do we get out of here? This is such a huge place. Can we... No, we can't do anything. What is all of this? That is creepy. Kind of creeped out. Game is not paused. Begin the game again. Resume the game. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Alright, so let's begin the game again. So, phew. It is actually really weird, but it's also really cool, kind of. But I'm gonna end this episode here. Let's see if he has to say something else. That's interesting. Come on, load. It's really hot in this room. I'm like sweating. Phew. Okay, now we are back here. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Cheerio. Bro. something wrong with you? There's definitely something wrong. Hello? What is up, guys? My name is Lufu, and welcome to Slender, the Arrival. So, this game came out a while back, but I never got a chance to play it. And I saw a few Let's Players do it, and